Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders that are firmly pushing this truth. And as always, peace and blessings unto the elect. Alright, so I just want to share a few videos. Not a few videos. Hey, that's how you know we're occupied in this ministry. The only thing on our minds is videos. That's the spirit. That's how you know this truth is clockwork for us. But what I meant to say was I want to share a few dreams that I had, spiritual dreams that I had, which it was 3 of them. Which the first one is not all that, but I'll still share it anyway. Really, the last 2 ones, they were heavy. Now, one of which all 3 of them consists of me dropping bodies, right? Which we're about to enter into that time, in the time of Jacob's trouble. Which let me go ahead and read this real fast. Jeremiah 16:16 says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers, save Yahweh, and they shall fish them." And that's what we do out there on the highways and byways. Right, we're currently in the fishing stages, but now we're about to transition into the hunter stages. Right, putting people down. It says, "And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks." Which is so ironic because in the second dream, I was actually the one being hunted, and I straight dropped them. Bodies hitting the floor. So the first dream was I was sleeping at night, and I heard a bunch of noises. In my kitchen, and it was some homeless people in my kitchen, going through the fridge, looking for food. So Heavenly Father had it to where I put their asses to death. All right, so I don't really recall much of that first one, but here we go about the second one. So now the second one, this is heavy. And the second dream, it was dudes whom I used to be associated with in the world. They was trying to break in my house. Through the window, right? And I ran to the kitchen and I grabbed 2 knives. Knives wasn't even big. Just regular cutting knives. And the Heavenly Father had to where, man, I was stabbing all of them. And it was a gang of them. It was just a slew of niggas. And the Heavenly Father had it to where I was putting each and every last one of the niggas to death. Not one nigga touched me. All right, which goes to show that these guys in the world whom we used to be associated with, whom we used to be close friends with, they probably want to kill us. All right, they probably want to kill us because, we're not their friends anymore. Right? It may look like we turn their backs on them. Whatever carnal mindset they may have. Whatever carnal mindset or whatever carnal thinking they may be thinking in their head. Them guys more than likely want to kill us because we're preaching the word. So the Heavenly Father had to where I was just stabbing all them niggas in the back. Stabbing in the back, stabbing in the front, and bodies just laid there on the grass. And through the spirit, that's what we've been talking about lately. All right, the altar, about all these people just dying. All right, us just putting these people to death. Why? Because they ain't right. All right, fellas, go ahead and grab this. Proverbs 21:15. It says, it is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. See that? So it is joy. It is joy to the just to do judgment. And we can't do it right now because we're not in our sovereignty. Okay, we don't have the power right now. But once we enter into the stages of Jacob's trouble and the Heavenly Father gives us those spiritual power, right? It's going to be time to get busy. Right now, the third dream, which through the spirit 3. Now the third dream was including me and the brother Shamgar, which I done had a few dreams involving me and the brother Shamgar, and we have spiritual power. And we had power we had the power of Marvel characters. Now we know Marvel characters, they got crazy strength, they got crazy amount of strength, right? Speed, the whole nine. So we had power. I think it was Spider-Man. I think we had Spider-Man powers, right? So we leaping on walls, we flying through the air, all types of shit, just fighting bad guys. Me and the brother Shumgar. So those are it. Those are the dreams. It's not really too detailed, but I just wanted to share that with bros, letting you know that, man, we're going to get that power. Or we're going to get that power. The Heavenly Father is definitely going to be with us in the times to come. All right, this is Psalms 144 and verse 1. It says, "Blessed be Yahweh my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight." That's right, and that's only through divine intervention, the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right, because, man, it's like 16, bro, it's like 10, 11, 16 niggas with me with two knives. Now the knives wasn't small, it was like medium sized knives. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look it up real fast. Let's go ahead and get it. Kitchen knife set. Let's see. Alright, so this was the size of the knives. This. Now, it's not small, but it's not big either. And I'm just using this, and I'm stabbing up all these niggas at the same time. That's the Heavenly Father teaching my hands how to war. That's the Heavenly Father doing. Read it again. "Blessed be Yahweh my strength." You see that? The Heavenly Father is our strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. That's right. And that was just nothing but the inspiration of the Heavenly Father. The spirit of the Heavenly Father coming on me to defeat all of my enemies. Right? Because we have many enemies. Right? Don't underestimate the enemies that we have. Right? We have undercover enemies. Even guys in the truth that's going to watch this video. Okay, hating because they're having dreams of them being destroyed and stuff like that. But on the contrary, we having dreams on defeating our enemies. So this is Psalms 25 and verse 19. It says, "Consider my enemies, for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred." Yeah, you got a lot of people that hate us. Hate us because they ain't us. Plain and simple. Because the spirit of the Heavenly Father is on us and not them. This is Book of Judges, chapter 14 and verse 5. It says, "Then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath. And behold, a young lion roared against him." Verse 6. "And the spirit of Yahweh came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done." You see that? So Samson, the spirit of the Heavenly Father came on him to do that. So us having that spiritual power, that's the spirit of the Heavenly Father coming on us, which coincides back to Psalms 144. The Heavenly Father teaching our hands how to war. This is Psalms 18 and verse 29. It says, "For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall." See that? That's nothing but divine intervention right there. The Heavenly Father working through our forefathers to run through a troop, defeat enemies, renting or tearing apart a lion. That's nothing but the spirit of the Lord and Yahweh Dazah. That's what we're going to get in them times, because we're going to need something. Okay, we're going to need a hedge of protection upon us or around us during these times, because it's going to be an evil time. Right? You're going to have people running the streets, running buck wild, right? Especially in the dark. Right? There's nothing but threats or warnings of what's it called? Blackouts, of power outages, right? not just in Europe, but also in America. And people that live within these big ass cities are Philly, New York, which is already destructive over here. It's real destructive over here in Philly, New York. Then you got Baltimore, DC. And it's going to be real up. So brothers that live in these cities, man, we're definitely going to need that spiritual power. Right? Are they going to try breaking our homes like I had in the dream? But you know what? The Heavenly Father is going to raise up that standard. Book Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, which is done with Esau, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Now, what's that? Now, let's go into the definition of standard, which is going into that power. Which that's what we're going to get. We're going to get that power. It says here, to put to flight, cause to disappear. Hi, that's right. And that's what brothers, hey, look, brothers not necessarily going to be fighting all the time. The Heavenly Father can put the Spirit on us just to turn invisible. And they don't see us. I mean, we could be right there, face to face. But they don't see us. We see them. See that? And don't say that stuff like that can't happen. Are you when you read throughout the scriptures, like in Bel and the Dragon, you had the Lord. You had the Lord. He had sent his angel Habakkuk to go deliver Daniel some food. And Habakkuk was like, man, I don't even know where Daniel is at. So what the angel did was took him by his afro and teleported him to Babylon, to where Daniel was at, and dropped off food and returned him back to his home. So spiritual things, marvelous works like those are going to happen. We just got to continue to have that faith and believe. All right, so Yahweh Tazah, you brothers and sisters were encouraged. With that being said, shalom. Yeah, so briefly, real fast, just to add on to the lesson. Now I haven't watched no. First and foremost, I don't even watch Marvel. First and foremost. Now the only type anime I watch is Dragon Ball Z, and I haven't even watched that in a while, right? So it's not like those cartoons or whatever was in my subconscious at all, right? So that's the spirit of the Lord, because I don't think about Spider-Man, I don't think about Superman, I don't think about none of those things. So I didn't watch a movie, I didn't watch no Marvel cartoons before I went to bed last night, right? I didn't do any of those things. See that? So that just further proves that the Heavenly Father sent me those dreams through the Spirit. All right, so I just wanted to add that. With that being said, shalom.